So hello and welcome to this. In today's video we'll be talking about the Godzilla Battle Line August 2021 new unit contest, which is a voting thing they're doing over on Twitter to see about a new unit being made for the game Godzilla Battle Line. There won't exactly have to be the next unit to be made because they did mention they are going to be making other units. I think in the meantime, this isn't just the next one to be made, although that was also using Twitter Translate or whatever, so I got messed up. But this isn't exactly the next unit to be made, but it is one to be made. I did decide to make this little tier list because I know people kind of find these interesting. I think it'd be kind of fun to talk about some of the different ones. I know I did it a little bit in a extreme a bit ago, but I did actually want to sit down and make this. As you can see here, I did a very bad job of snipping some of the images from the list of options you have to vote on. And I thought we might as well just sit through in a little video and just kind of talk about some of them and rank them. I think this thing is actually kind of interesting because you have, I feel like, four different groups for these units. You have, first group is Godzilla. Let's see, Godzilla, and Godzilla. Now, some of these are at least a little bit different. Like Godzilla Earth is definitely a full-on different continuation. And I believe this one up here kind of looks like it might be the Burning Godzilla, which I know that was the Godzilla from that movie, but it doesn't really specify that. It's just Godzilla, which, I mean, that might be a little bit different, but kind of basic. Then you have the option of, bigger, more popular ones, some of which already have kind of like a similar version in-game. Like, we already have a Mecha Godzilla. Although we have these two other Mecha Godzillas, we already have King Gador, and this is Mecha King Gador. But you have some kind of popular ones. Although I will admit some of these to me are just kind of popular because I mostly was a fan of the Pipeworks trilogy of games. So like Megalon was super awesome to me, even if he wasn't maybe the greatest thing ever in his movie that got released. But hey, I'm all for it. I thought it was fun. Then you also have little bit more acquired taste or lesser known ones like Ebra. I think I'm saying that right. Varan, which apparently is Varan, but I'm gonna say Varan. It looks like that. Maybe Gabara. Wasn't like the greatest movie ever, but to me, it always seemed kind of like an interesting kaiju design, personally. So you have some of those. Might not be maybe your first picks, maybe Baragon as well, but hey, they were still something. And then you have a giant octopus for just the weird one. I'm surprised he's on a voting poll. But then you also have weird ones missing, in my opinion. You don't have a destroyer on here, but you have some other really big ones. You don't have a Shin Godzilla, but you have Godzilla Earth. You don't have Orga, but you also have the Godzilla from that movie, which I think is interesting. Orga's maybe the most popular character ever, although I loved him in the Pipework games, I like Megalon. So I kind of thought this would have been for him, but I do find that very interesting. Also, I feel like Giant Octopus is the most memey pick, maybe Gabara too, but I don't know, he's just the most odd one. I feel like he's in the category of Giant Condor and a couple other things where are they really that popular? I mean, they could work as units, a cheaper, maybe 1-2 star unit. But I don't really see him as being bigger. But I'm going to be honest with you, he's going in one tier. Because basically, I'm tempted to sit like this, and then people do it other ways. But I just one, really want, two, wouldn't mind getting, or also still kind of really want, but a little bit lesser than one, three, okay with, four, and 5, I could really live without it. So let's just actually start off at the top. Godzilla 1954, the original, and I guess you also could say maybe the third one, because it's the same movie, but reshot, well not reshot, but had extra scenes added in for Americans. He's kind of in like a special category, like a little bit better than some of the Godzillas because he's the first one, so he's a little bit more original. Because personally, I don't see much of a difference between some of these various different Godzillas. Like the suits changed a little bit, and some of them have some special different things. Like I was like this Godzilla has like his breath looked a little bit more misty to me. Not sure that's supposed to be a thing or not. And his looks a different color, but like, is that really that much different? He's at least burning Godzilla, and I do feel like the later Godzillas, at least the Millennium era, do look a little, to me, cooler. I like the designs a little bit more. But he's just had like special place for being the first Godzilla, and I'm kind of surprised we didn't maybe get him already. So I kind of put him up maybe in third tier, like in the middle. I wouldn't be mad getting him, but he is just kind of another Godzilla, and doesn't really do anything special. He's more special because he's the original Godzilla, but he's not that special, if that makes sense. Next up is from King Kong versus Godzilla, which I think is very interesting. You don't have King Kong on this list, but you have him and Giant Octopus. Although I don't know if that's like a legal thing with King Kong not technically being allowed because King Kong is copyrighted. Although you had the rights to him then, so I don't know. Could you still do something with him related to that movie? I mean, just because you might not have the rights to him doesn't mean you still don't have the rights to this movie. I don't know how all that kind of works with like spin-off stuff. So like, I'm sure you maybe could still make a poster from Godzilla or King Kong versus Godzilla and use King Kong on it. But like, I know there's some weirdness where that's why he's just referred to as Kong in the MonsterVerse films, because they can't actually use King Kong without paying some like movie rights or something. I kind of wish we had him. Like if he was on here, give me Kong with electric powers. Yeah, I would actually probably put him somewhat higher up, but just cause that, just another Godzilla. I liked his breath attack. It looked a little bit interesting to me, but it is just another Godzilla. If it was like the Kong, I'd probably be like a little bit more kind of surprised we don't have the Kong in the list somewhere, but I don't know, maybe they can add him, maybe they can't, who knows. Giant Octopus, I don't know, I just like him. The clip was very interesting. It was actually a real octopus they just like placed on the ground. I think they actually used 4 different octopuses to film the scene, and it was just a real octopus like crawling across the ground. Looked still really good to this day, impressively. But I mean, I guess that works when you use a real octopus. But yeah, he's just a weird out of the box pick that I wasn't really that aware of. I might have heard his name a couple times, but it's like Giant Condor. The Giant Condor I think stands out a little bit more with his name, but it's just like, it's just interesting overall. Like, hey, it's a giant octopus. I don't know, it's just a very interesting unit. Also, I like how him and Ebra are both like aquatic units or aquatic creatures. Although, I mean, most of his scene in the movie was out of the water, so I guess it might be a little bit better. Although I would think maybe a giant shrimp, lobster. I don't think he's a crab. Maybe he might be a crab, even though he doesn't look like a crab. I don't know. I feel like there's something weird about him. Well, he's not actually what he looks like. He's the other thing or something weird like that. But I like that they do actually have some like more aquatic-based units on here, and that also really interests me going forward to see more oceanic creatures get added into the game. It might be fun to build a deck around them or do some other stuff with them. But yeah, he's just kind of interesting. I don't know, he's an odd pick. I mean, I guess Kamakas, if I'm saying that correctly, is a little bit more popular. Like, people kind of know them probably a little bit more than Giant Octopus. I think he actually has a name like Kamuku or something. But they just call him Giant Octopus here. I don't know if maybe that's like an official Toho name. Might just be a fan community name they were given to him. But like, I don't know, he just seems like a fun unit. I like the kind of odd picks in these games. Like, maybe pick the ones that other people might not like as much. Although I also find a weird attraction to just random different type of creatures. Although I also like, oh gosh, Jurassic World type stuff. Like, if, I don't know, if there's like a T-Rex they could add in, like, I would probably be all over that or something. Like, if they would cross over with Jurassic World and doing the Indominus Rex, I'd be all over that as a unit. Though, I mean, that's a little bit more special, not just like another regular creature. But hey, I do really like that type of stuff. So, Giant Octopus is kind of up there in one tier. Like, I don't know if he might be the one I would vote for. I don't know if he's had that many votes, but like, it was a very interesting one when I looked at the list. I think he's kind of a little bit more unique maybe than some other things on this list. But then we have Godzilla versus Mothra. I'm not as familiar with that movie. Maybe if I was, I'd like it a little bit more. But I think I'm gonna kind of put this down here. Just like, it's just another Godzilla. At least that one had something that kind of interested me, and that's the first one. Gabara is one I kind of like. I think I'm gonna stick that up here in this 2 tier. Like, I would be all kind of over that. Varan is a very interesting one. I also think it's interesting what movie they credit him for. Okay, it's just a little bit part in here. There was also had his like not origin movie, but a solo movie back in the day. Apparently, that's why he has such a small role in this movie. Is his suit was so damaged they can only use the like little flying half-scale model thing or whatever. So that's why you only see him in bit parts, and he's always kind of like flying and maybe looks really small. Is they don't actually have him with a suit. But I think it's very interesting they chose this version of him instead of his like original version from back in the day. I probably would have done that one myself. I think it's Varan, and there was Varan the Unbelievable was the Americanized version of it. Still very interesting. I'm not like that big of a fan of him, but he is a little bit different. Sounds kind of interesting. Almost kind of like Giant Octopus in a way, but it's not one that I might be as big for as some other weird ones, although I also think the octopus is a little bit cooler than a flying lizard. But he is kind of cool. I'll put him up here, but probably after Gabara, because I don't know, I think just the giant shrimp, lobster, crab, crayfish, crawdaddy. Let's call him a crawdaddy. Gabara the crawdaddy is kind of cool. I feel like he might be kind of, not the most tanky thing in all of his appearances in the various Toho media, but I feel like he should probably be a little bit harder to like kill with having like exoskeleton or something. Then we have Gabara. Not that great of a movie, but I kind of loved his design. I think we're going to put him up here at least before Varan. Probably after Gabara. Maybe you might swap him around. Apparently supposed to be like a mutated toad or something weird. So remember the days when people thought whatever the original creature was in a singular point, I forget its name, people thought that was like an updated version of him. Something that would be kind of cool though. Still kind of headcanon that, because they do kind of like very similar-ish designs, considering how different that show's design of some of the creatures are. I think that's kind of cool, but I think I would love for him to get more love. I would probably play him here. I love Manila. I think he's one of the best units, well, not the best units in the game, but the best underrated unit. I think people overlook him quite a bit, and he's really good for me. So I would probably be all over Gabara. I think he's kind of cool with some of his design, some of his powers. It just wasn't in that great of a movie. Megalon, I love him. I actually made a potential kit for him on the Reddit, which I will be linking to in the description below if anybody is interested. I think he would be really good. Probably might be the one I'll be voting for. Just over Giant Octopus not having, I don't think that many people voting for him. Maybe I might just my meme vote in. I mean, he is kind of up here at S tier. Well, let's see what it looks like at the end. But these two are probably the top of the S tier. So I mean, maybe I'll just vote for my number one pick. Screw whether he wins or loses. Show my support for him. But Megalon is also pretty cool. I'm curious how they would do his digging thing to make him different than Mogira, but probably like a mix between Mogira maybe and Gigan. Would be curious if he'd be a leader or not. Here's what star level he'd be, because I feel like he might deserve to be 2-star, a 3-star max. But considering Gigan's a 3-star, I don't think Megalon should be any more than him. Probably a little bit lesser, but I just love playing him in the video games. I thought he was very cool there. Mecha Godzilla 1, the original alien design. I think it might be at the top right now of 2 tier. Really do like him, although we already have a Mechagodzilla in the game. Although I'd be curious to see what they do to actually make all three of them different. I kind of thought we might just get one Mechagodzilla and kind of have it cover the bases, but I would love him for my mecha / robotics team, also for my alien team. I'm not saying that's like the best reason to vote for somebody, because it doesn't mean they're going to be good. But I like his kit of firepower, and I love his finger missiles. I think that's unique to this Mechagodzilla. Maybe Mechagodzilla 2 have. I don't know all Mechagodzilla's 2 powers, although Mechagodzilla 2 doesn't really do too much in the game. I feel like I could buff him a little bit or something, make him a little bit more cooler. But I think this is kind of cool. Also, I think it's interesting. I believe this is from the first one where he doesn't have like the second head underneath, and that's from the second one. Kind of curious, it might be like some weird transforming thing. When you kill him, he loses his head. He gets like a more powerful attack or a different attack or something. Because I feel that was an interesting part about him. Although it could also be cool if we actually have him like disguised as Godzilla or something. I don't know what that would be for. I don't know, maybe if he was a leader. Although I don't know if they want to have multiple Mechagodzillas as leaders. Who knows? But I do think he is kind of cool. I think he might be maybe my favorite Toho Mechagodzilla. Legendary Mechagodzilla might be my favorite of all of them. I think he had a little bit cooler design. Although I think some of these Toho designs, they kind of get rid of some of the limitations of having it be a man in the suit, how you can change them a little bit, make them look a little bit cooler. To kind of give him the edge there, but I think he might be my favorite of the different Mechagodzilla, at least for his weapons. Although, I mean, hey, finger missiles is pretty cool. That's pretty hard to kind of beat, in my opinion, though maybe Kiryu might look the best. Although I do also like the really old school look of him. And we have Mecha King Gador, who's a really cool one. I'm hoping that's how we get maybe, or I'm suspecting this is how we get King Gador in as a leader unit. Maybe they were saving it for this one, since we don't have him in there. But I was thinking that maybe like if we get another Mechagodzilla, or I guess both of them at this rate, we might not get them both as leaders to maybe limit the confusion of which Mechagodzilla it might be. I don't know, maybe they can add some more stuff to the name to make it a little bit more obvious. I guess if you're paying attention, it should be, but it might not be the easiest thing on phone screens. But like this one, I don't know, maybe he's going to be the leader, so that's the one King Gador would get as a leader. Or maybe Monster X, which is interesting, he's not on this list, had to be a good transforming unit as well. But Mecha King Gador, I think I might put that maybe over Mechagodzilla. He'd be fit on lots of good teams. I guess he's not technically alien tech side anymore at this point. I think because it's supposed to be he was rebuilt by humans or something as a good guy. I'm not as great on his lore, but I don't believe he's technically a bad guy or working for the aliens. But I feel like he could fit on lots of different tag teams, so that doesn't really do anything in this game. Even though I kind of maybe wish it would, although I make theme teams all the time myself. But I think he would be kind of interesting. Might work a little bit better as a leader than just regular King Gador. I don't know, might have a little bit more unique stuff in his arsenal to have as a hero ability. I think he's a little bit cooler than Mechagodzilla, but I don't know. I can see swapping these around. As I was thinking back about this, I kind of maybe even want to move him because I kind of would like to have you more, and maybe even you more. Maybe even you. I don't know. I don't know. Giant crustacean has me lots more interested. I have lots more sorting it, but we'll go ahead and put the other ones in. Godzilla vs. Destroyer with Fire Godzilla. I think I might put it here. Just because Fire Godzilla is cool, and I have lots of different concepts myself that I want to actually put up eventually for maybe a kit of him. Basic idea is he'd be a transforming unit that would be stronger in his initial form, and you ideally want him to get killed before he transforms, because once he transforms he gets weaker, maybe turns into a basic Godzilla, or he just has this super powered up form, or then maybe he transforms into that because that's what it I guess kind of maybe is more in that movie. But I think maybe it might be an interest. I did have a transforming unit that actually gets worse once they transform. They're really strong, so you have to kind of think about when you actually want to play them. Think he might be kind of cool. I just don't really like his design in here. Just like they painted some orange stuff onto the regular Godzilla suit. I think the original Godzilla kind of triumphs a little bit more there, but he might be kind of interesting as a unit in game. But I don't really care for him too much as a Godzilla. Godzilla 99. Maybe. I don't know. I just really like that design. I thought the movie was okay. Just thought he just looked really cool. Like he looked a lot more menacing. Looked a little bit less like a suit. A little bit more hunched over. Like that design a little bit more. Despite, I don't know. To me, even though I haven't watched all the Godzilla movies, and this certainly wasn't like my first Godzilla movie. My first was the '98 American Godzilla, so I might be a little biased. Add him to the game, please. I don't know. I kind of think of this design a little bit more when I think of Godzilla. I don't think of like a super cartoony version of him. I kind of think of that. I kind of like it. This one, I believe he was supposed to be kind of evil in this movie. I think the design looks still fairly similar-ish to that, which I like a little bit more. I might stick it here. Similar to this, although this movie gets a little bit more credit in my book than this one. Although Good King Gador is very interesting. But I still think maybe this one's a little bit cooler because it's the original Baragon. I kind of like you. I might stick you here. Or maybe here. If you had your female suit actor's little cry thing, you'd probably be up here. Maybe at the front of here. But without that, I don't know. You're not that interesting. You're almost down at this tier. I can see you maybe be interested. I think you did do some digging or something. Some of the games you want, like, the worst thing ever. But you don't really stand out to me. Like, Rain's a little bit cooler. Gabbard's a little bit cooler. You didn't really do too much. But I would like you, I think, more than another Godzilla. Because you're at least something unique. Kiru. Maybe here. Now, it might be before regular Godzilla. To be fair, I think you are actually technically that Godzilla. I think they use that Godzilla skeleton to make you, so you're kind of the same thing. Very interestingly enough. But, I don't know. I watched the second of this movie, never watched the first one, so I don't really know all the stuff with him that really stand out too special to me, but I don't know, not bad. I think maybe just this one's a little bit cooler than that one, and it's like, well, we already have another Mecha Godzilla. This will be the second Mecha Godzilla in the game, so you kind of go down even a little bit further with being like another Mecha Godzilla, and we have Godzilla 2004 Final Wars. Either the end of there or the beginning of this tier, which I might say beginning of this tier, kicks a whole lot of butt in that movie, which makes me a little more interested, curious how like it might be one of the more powerful Godzillas. Very similar design to that one, but I don't know. I think that to me stood out a little bit more, and it's just like another Godzilla, so kind of put you there. Got again from Final Wars. Maybe even up there. Although you're just kind of second unit. Curious how they make you too different than regular Gigan. Maybe you have more of an AoE attack. So maybe you run towards the enemies. Or maybe you fight a whole bunch of things. I don't know. Would be very curious though. That's Gigan with double chainsaws in each arm. Very cool. Really like him. Although I really like Gigan regularly in the game. So yeah, there's that. Then, let's see, this one, I kind of want to put this down here at the bottom, but I give it credit for being not just another Godzilla. It's actually very different, but I hated Godzilla Earth, hated his design for the most part, hated he kind of never moved, his powers thought were kind of dumb. I thought the whole movie trilogy was dumb. Don't really care for him, like, at all, but he is at least different than just another Godzilla. So, I mean, I might even put him above that Godzilla. I guess to be fair, this is just another Godzilla. I just kind of like the look of his breath in the movie, but it might just be some special effects, cheap budget. They couldn't make it a full-on beam, but yeah, so just two basic Godzillas. A Godzilla I don't like, who's kind of bottom tier, but I just don't want like another the 18th Godzilla to be added to the game. Fire Godzilla, I don't really like his look. Could be kind of cool. Evil newer Godzilla, I like the look. Could be kind of interesting, but just another Godzilla. Kiryu, I kind of like him, but just kind of another Mecha Godzilla. The original Godzilla is because it's the original Godzilla. At least has that unique thing going for him. Megalon was at least an interesting design and just something different, but not one that I too care for. Final Wars Godzilla, just because he just kills everything in that movie, so kind of cool. Similar to this, would probably be stronger than Godzilla 2000s, but you know, it's still another Godzilla. We have Varan, something just kind of look cool, but not one that I super care about. Gabara, I think they look kind of cool, had an interesting design, got shortchanged by the movie, but might be interesting. See them kind of get redeemed. I love the 99 design for Godzilla, so if I'm gonna get like another Godzilla alt for me, of these options, it would probably be him. I feel like him or these two would be my first picks for another Godzilla alt. But this one's also kind of up there because it's kind of similar-ish, but this one just did way more things in his movie. Ebra, I just like giant crustaceans. Mecha Godzilla 1974, the original alien one. I think he's just a little bit cooler weapons, finger missiles. Mega King Gador, pretty cool, just slap Mecha onto anything that's already existing. I like this wing design too a lot here. It's kind of fun to play with the game. Final Wars guy again, just boss, double chainsaws, what more do you want? Megalon, the non-meme pick, really do kind of like them. Just made a kit for them like 2 days before this poll went up, so felt like perfect timing for me to put him number one, otherwise he might be somewhere in this tier. And Giant Octopus just feels like the perfect meme pick to me. I know it just seems kind of interesting. Surprised to put him on this list, but of all of these things, I might would want to see him the most. I would love to see what they do with him. Although him and Ebra also get bonus points for being like aquatic creatures. I mean, this one's on land the whole time it was in the movie. But bonus points for that because I kind of want to see what they would do with that. Because I was kind of afraid we might not ever really get to see the aquatic kaiju sort of stuff because we don't have like. I don't think you could make a level where they could stay, or a unit that has to stay in the water the whole time for them to ever be useful. Or they'd be very dependent on the map, which the map could work. Maybe at least in events or something, they have like, you know what the map is going to be all the time. Whether you can't see what the map is, but I don't know, it might be too much work. Somebody presses play and the map rolled over, because that has happened to me before. Although it didn't get screwed over, but maybe you were playing on a map with lots of water. Now this one has like no water, or you can't play anything onto a unit of water, so might be something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's really it for this tier list. Feel free to berate me in the comments for this list. Very curious to see what you also have for your ranking. And assuming it actually went on here correctly, because I was having problems searching for this. This is what the name of this tier list is called. Hopefully it shows up so that you can make your own version of this if you would like. And with that being said, this is Paul Ripley signing off. Goodbye and have a wonderful day. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on just kaiju and other stuff like this in the comments below. So until next time, goodbye and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.